Ernest Hemingway,
1899
to 1961. Okay, Ernest Hemingway was born in a Chicago suburb, Oak Park, on July 21, 1899.
His father made him love the Michigan woods, hunting, and fishing.
He played football and boxed.
As a child, he wrote poetry, short stories, and a column in the school newspaper.
He graduated in 1917, wanting to enlist in the Army, but he got rejected because of an eye injury that he got from boxing.
He worked as a reporter for the Kansas City Star.
His wish half came true when he became an ambulance driver for the Red Cross in Italy, but he got wounded in the knee after 6 weeks and needed over 12 operations.
Because of his injury, he spent a lot of time in the hospital. He fell in love with a nurse, and she became the central character in his novel, A Farewell to Arms.
World War I reached its armistice in 1918. He then returned to Michigan and wrote Big Two-Hearted River. In this story, he reflected on his personal struggles about coming to terms with the war.
Hemingway got married and moved to Paris in 1921. He had been working as a roving reporter for the Toronto Star.
Hemingway's first book, 3 stories and 10 poems, along with The Torrents of Spring, a parody of his friend Sherwood Anderson's work, drew scant notice.
Hemingway, around 30 years old, married for the second time, went on to write an even more powerful and successful novel, A Farewell to Arms.
After the major success of A Farewell to Arms, Hemingway established himself as a worldwide adventurer, as though a heroic style was as important to his life as to his fiction. He fished and hunted wherever new seas and continents beckoned.
By 1952, Hemingway celebrated literary accomplishments, and his continuous pursuit of excitement and danger had made him as famous as any film star. He produced yet another widely acclaimed novel in that year, The Old Man and the Sea, which won the 1953 Pulitzer Prize.
In 1954, Hemingway won the Nobel Prize in Literature. He now divided his time between his house in Ketchum, Idaho, and his restless travels all over the world, to Cuba, China, Venice, Spain, and Africa. His health deteriorated, and periods of elation alternated with episodes of severe depression.
After a visit to the Mayo Clinic for treatment, he returned to Idaho. On the morning of July 2nd,
He rose early, and with 2 charges of a double-barreled shotgun, he killed himself.